that he put like cocaine in his tank, and that some girl took a hit. That he gave a girl a balloon, and like it was like a house party where it's 2-story, and she was like up on the stairs, and she like fell down the stairs. What is going on?
What's going on, guys?
How we feeling, people? This is your boy Mast,
And I'm Meegs.
and we are Woof's Web, aka Woof Logik. Also Maple Alley, if you want. If you
Maple
want to
Alley.
add that. Yeah, we actually, speaking of Maple Alley, we actually just filmed a couple of videos this past weekend, and one of them, man, oh fuck! I mean, it wasn't like a spicy, like a crazy spicy feeling, but it fucked my asshole up for sure.
It just lingered in the mouth. It was like, cause it wasn't even like didn't taste bad. It actually tasted kind of good actually, but
Yeah.
it just lingered there. It did not go away. I was like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah, for context, we played the truth or dab game. We actually posted about it. But yeah, I mean, the way the game works is you pretty much, it's like a card game, and you have to flip it. It'll give you a test, like a question that pretty much you want to expose yourself on, or there's a trivia version where you like pretty much answer the questions involving the people playing.
Yeah.
And then there's a pop quiz, or there's a fucking just random, or roast even. And like, and pretty much the way it works is everyone that's playing, they flip a turn, they get it, and then whoever doesn't want to answer it, they have to take a dab of the last dab on the show, Hot Ones. And at the end of each round, that's when we all play a game called Pop Up, and then pretty much it involves everyone, and pretty much so. At the end of every round, someone has to take a dab. So it can be boring, but it also there's consequences at the end of each round. So no matter what, someone's taking a dab, because the problem with us is we're all open book with each other.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really care about airing our shit out with one another, at least. There is a different thing when it comes to actually making it content, though, because we can't say everything.
Yeah. So there were a couple of questions where I was like, I can't answer this, so I have to take the dab. Because like I don't mind saying in front of the guys, but in front of y'all, like it's like give me that dab.
Yeah, especially with family and all that watching.
Yeah.
So that's one of the videos we did. We also did another Ox Wars. That's always fun doing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much us just being ourselves and playing some of our favorite music. And well, I guess we'll leave it for you guys. I don't want to spoil what genres or themes we're picking on that one.
Well, I'll just leave it like that.
But anyway, so the speaking of the Hot Ones, that concept, when did that start? Like maybe 10 years ago.
It's been out for a cool minute.
I feel like it flew by, because I remember when it was new, it was just like, it was like crazy. Like everyone was on it, like all the big names. It was going pretty viral for a while.
Yeah, and they didn't always have like 10 sauces. They had like 8 or like 6 at first, and they kept getting more and more.
Yeah, what's cool about them is they change their sauces every season.
Yeah.
Not every single one. I know they keep a couple, but then they even started making their own, like the Hot Ones brand.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And they started putting it into stores or even online. They're freaking capitalizing on that. I don't know if you ever seen like the drama between them and Cold as Balls, though. Like, pretty much they're saying Cold as Balls like copied them with the whole like concept of making their guests uncomfortable while asking them questions.
I mean, I guess, but like everything's copied at this point.
Yeah, that is true. Cold as Balls, though, I hear that they had like fake ice and shit.
Yeah, and then even then, like, I know for a fact Hawk Ones isn't the first show that like asked people questions on uncomfortable settings. They're just the ones that just got really popular because they're doing it with wings and shit.
Yeah. Is there like any other concept that you would think of that would make your guests uncomfortable?
Have you ever seen the Eric Andre show?
No.
You know who he is, right? That dude with the curly hair, the comedian.
I'm pretty sure if I saw him, but
he was on his show was on friggin' Adult Swim.
Yeah, no,
and so he would get like guests, like actual celebrity guests on, and he would make them like super uncomfortable. Either we're asking them like really weird questions, or shit would just pop off on set like crazy. But they don't advise the guests that on, so sometimes they just walk off. It's funny as fuck.
You know, it would be kind of funny. I think kind of like a fear factor where you trap each other inside. Like maybe you could see each other's like head level, but inside you're like in a box, and there's something like crawling at your feet. Like maybe just cockroaches or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who would sign up for that, but that would be a pretty crazy concept.
It'll be called Air 'em Out.
But yeah, there's some cool ideas out there for sure. I know once we go deep into the Maple Alley shit and we have more time on our hands, that would be something interesting to do.
Yeah.
Or even just on one another, because I know we're pretty much down for a lot of shit, even though David's pussy ass, he didn't want to do like the hot sauce stuff.
Yeah, he still did it though.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, I mean, fuck. Later that night, I was like forgetting why that shit was even hurting to take a shit. I was like fucking stressing, having your head down. Have you ever had to get like butt ass naked when you're taking a shit?
I've had so many of those types of shits where I was like, fuck, I gotta take off everything. I gotta put the phone down. I'm on focus mode because this shit's hurting.
Yeah, we have like this toilet paper rack that's pretty tall, and I'll just like lean my head on it. I'll be like, well, I've only had to do that a couple of times where I had to get like fully naked. Like those are the ones that just fucking like you're praying for God.
Yeah, that's just not coming out.
I love how we become like a poop podcast. That's pretty fun.
Hey.
But speaking of, yeah, how we're talking about like cold as balls too. Like it's pretty much their cold plunging. Have you ever done that shit?
I think I did it one time in high school because we had one in the recovery area, but I never.
We did.
Yeah, it was like a little metal trough thing. It was like a cylinder, like it was like a little bin. It doesn't even count like as like a really good like cold plunge tub, but it's what they used.
Some people use like their pools or their bathtub, like just like cold ass water without ice.
Yeah, and I mean I'd be down to do it, but like I get pussy when I had to take like cold showers, so I was like fuck, like willingly go inside a cold plunge. I'm probably gonna be like bitching.
Yeah, I'm for sure like a hot water shower guy, but I try to like at the end of my shower turn it to cold for like maybe a minute or two, just let my body sit under that. But yeah, I've always wanted to do like the cold plunging. I've never tried it before. The closest thing I've had to that was dipping my head under a bucket like of ice water. Like that was after a family party. We're all fucking like hungover and shit, and you do that, bro, it fucking snapped out of it real quick.
Yeah, that's facts. I remember I had to do that one time. I got really drunk, and then the next day they just threw me in a cold ass shower. I was
yeah. If we always had a bucket, bro, I'd be down to do that shit like right away, like wherever we're having like a party or whatever.
Yeah.
But so hopefully Jonathan and Gazelles, Johnny and Gazelles, whatever we decide to do for their birthdays, we end up doing that. Because that's for sure like the cheat code to just snap out of it real quick. That and birria or fucking menudo.
Menudo.
For anyone who's had menudo pozole, let us know in the comments. What do you prefer, menudo or pozole? I'm a menudo guy.
See, I used to be all pozole until I don't know. I just got older and I like wised up. But like menudo, it just tastes so much better. Like the granitos, like the little meat stuff. It tastes a lot better.
That texture, I don't know what it is about that texture. There's people that don't fuck with the texture, but for me, I love that shit.
Yeah, me too.
I love like weird texture things. My girl, she's all like the opposite. Well, sometimes it turns her off to it, but like the popping bobas too. I love just fucking playing with it.
I almost ate a handful downstairs, but they weren't bobas.
Yeah, yeah. We have like these little gel bullet things for like those little toy guns, and there's like a big ass bucket down there with a bunch of them. And my boy Migs was tempted to try it out.
They look like the popping bobas. That's why.
You remember that phase where kids were eating Tide Pods?
Yeah, for the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, those fools are fucking wild, bro. They do look look appealing.
And I have seen similar looking candies. Obviously not like that, but they like kind of have like the same colorways. I'm like, I could see why they would want to do it. But at the same time, these guys are just dumbasses. Yeah,
because at a certain point, you see people already doing it, and they go to hospitals, and motherfuckers are still trying it. But that kind of makes me wonder, so people do like air duster, people do like random ass like
Freon.
Yeah, they do random ass things to get axe spray. I remember one time I was walking home. I was in 6th grade, and I used to walk home with like a bunch of the 8th graders.
Yeah.
And there's this one fool. He was in 8th grade. He had like a fucking axe can. He was like putting it in front of his sweater, and he was just like inhaling that shit. And this fool would fucking like after he took one hit, he started like he just looked like slow, like frozen.
Yeah.
And then I seen like drool coming out of his mouth, bro.
They're on full stuck mode.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is like it just it makes me wonder like what else can you take to get that type of feeling. Like
Sharpies.
they were like, what do people even try? Like, how do they try it for the first time? It's so weird.
I think it's just like they feel it's all because it's all at the end of the day, it's fumes.
Yeah.
So it's literally whatever. They're just like maybe they'll open a paint can or something. It's just some bullshit where it'll have strong fumes and then like, oh shit. And then but then most people are like, I'm probably gonna cover my face. But other people are like, oh, I kind of like this feeling. Let me try this more.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I don't know. I've always wanted to see like to see what goes on in people's minds, like how they decide on what to try out. Because I be seeing the warning signs on everything.
Yeah,
and even things that I know people are taking or doing, and it's just like, damn, y'all some ballsy ass people.
Yeah, it is. Because I actually have tried the Axe spray thing once. Because I saw everybody was doing it. I was like, all right, let me try this. And I was like, fuck no, this is like it hurt my head. I was like, this is stupid. Why are people doing this? And like I got you're getting rid of good Axe spray.
Yeah, that was damn. You remember Tag?
Damn, Tag.
Yeah, before Axe was popping, I remember Tag was at least I don't know. Maybe in my young mind, I thought Tag came first and then Axe. And then when was Old Spice originate? They always killed it with the commercials. Those things are funny.
They've always been in the game, I think so. But just as deodorant, they kind of did the spray, but not so much.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no. So for those of you that don't know, like people will do like air duster as well. They inhaled it, like the stuff that you put on like your computers, like to blow out the dust.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah, those fools be taking that. Nas, Freon. I have this story from a house party. I was DJing one time, and like usually when you're DJing, you have like a bunch of people behind you or in front. And I had a homie. He hit his balloon, and that fool started like twitching over my laptop. Yeah, he started twitching over my laptop. He almost like pressed all these buttons and would have fucked everything up.
I remember one time, one of the very first house parties I went to, this guy went. I kind of knew him. He was kind of a little Cholita food, but like I was cool with him. I didn't know because back then in Fontana the house parties was just a thing to do, and he had a tank. And for me, I didn't know what the fuck Nas was. He's like, "You want a balloon?" I'm like, nah. I just told him no because I didn't know what the hell it was. He's like, "All right, you're lost." And so he hits that shit, bro, and no bullshit, fucking false face for like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And his homies pick him up, and he gets back to it, and he just starts hitting that shit again. I'm like, "Yo, damn, that shit is crazy."
Yeah, bro. I've seen people like flavor their stuff with Monster or even alcohol. And imagine putting like a Four Loko in that bitch.
Well, you be fucking a sick one.
Yeah, fool. And this one guy, I guess he was like a mutual friend. He told me the story that he put like cocaine in his tank, and that some girl took a hit. That he gave a girl a balloon. And like it was like a house party where it's 2-story, and she was like up on the stairs, and she like fell down the stairs. And that shit, man, parties were wild back in the day.
Yeah,
all those. I think Project X for sure, like fucking influenced the hell out of people back then. Like they were just out of hand.
Yeah, and everybody try to do the Project X Part 1 or Part 2 or like the real one. It's gonna be the biggest one, and then it just never was.
Yeah, man. So I used to throw house parties back in the day as well.
You threw some of the biggest ones.
Yeah, well, in Fontana at least, there's LA parties. I'm sure that shit on everything I did.
Yeah,
but I had a good run. Maybe it was about 2 years of solid events. After that, it kind of just plateaus or gets old with a lot of people.
Yeah, I was sad because I got there. I started hanging out with you guys towards the end, where like the parties were just kind of getting less and less.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, man. And I would always hear these guys have like those crazy ass like house party stories. Like, fuck, I should have gone.
Yeah, I started on when was it? The last day of freshman year. That was when I started actually throwing parties, because like our group of friends would throw like some parties here and there.
Yeah,
but they were never promoted like on some house party shit. It was just like some small like homie invite type shit only. It wasn't like out for the public. And I started charging for parties, and there's a lot of haters out there, man, and it's crazy because like a lot of the people that didn't fuck with me, like they would still come and like pay me, and just, like they would just be mad dogging me as they're paying me. Like the shit was fucking comedy, bro.
Yeah, but if you're hating on my boy, don't come to the party.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't make sense. It was like, fool, they would talk hella shit, and then after the party they would go on their Facebook or their MySpace, it was Facebook back then, and they would like post like, yeah, just pull up at the party. The shit was whack, or they'll be like, oh, I punked that fool. Like I was like, bro, what party were you at?
Fuck?
Yeah, that's just fucking hilarious. They're just trying to prove a point with their homies, because like I said, I just had a lot of beef with people because I guess just because we're doing shit, we're succeeding in our own aspect.
Yeah.
Of throwing popping parties. Like I had a lot of competition. Fools would literally try to throw parties the same day as me, and it would never work out for them. Like it would always come into my favor.
Yeah.
They would always try to call the cops on it just to end it early.
That's some grimy shit. I mean, it's funny as fuck, but at the same time, like y'all some bitches, man.
Yeah, dead ass, bro. Like so, I don't know the whole house party wars back in the days. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, there would even be like fucking gun shootouts. Like I've seen probably at least like 3 or 4 of them where it's like some gunfights, bro. It's crazy. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, damn, mom, you're right. You shouldn't be letting me out to these things. Yeah,
man, it's because they would always hire somebody's brother as security guard, and yeah, sure, he's a big ass fool, but what the fuck that's gonna do?
Yeah, facts. Or they would have no security at all. Fuck. And I don't know. That's a crazy way to go about it. I always want to make my people feel safe as much as I can, at least. But man, we gotta talk about the crazy shit at Beyond. This past Beyond at the Gorge.
Yeah, man.
There was some armed guy in the campgrounds. Apparently, it was like, bro, I seen the map. And the campgrounds is pretty fucking far from the actual event.
Yeah,
it said 15 minute. It said 15-minute walk, but that shit looked far.
Yeah, it's like about a half mile.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, not thankfully, but I guess the shooter, he was all the way at the furthest end of the campground site. It was like the extended or overflow, they called it.
Yeah,
and so yeah, there at Beyond this past weekend, an armed guy, he unfortunately shot and killed two ravers, and injured three others that we know of, at least right now, because it is still fresh. There's still like information that hasn't been fully given out. I've heard there's actually more injured, but like 3 were like critical or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just sad to hear where this scene is going to.
Yeah.
Because man, like we said, like it a lot of people blame it on like every generation. We say the same thing, like the rave scene is changing or is different, or yeah, you could 10 years ago those people would agree with what it was like in 2015, 2016. It just every year it's just a new generation coming in, and a new generation of like kind of like saying the scene is changing, which to a certain degree, it's always going to be changing, but also like it's not changing in a better way. It should be changing in a better way, but it's changing in a worse way, where it's becoming more dangerous or more negative energy, or more like it's more like the general public is joining in, and they're not like they're not putting in the same morals or respect that the rave culture has built.
Yeah, I mean, because this is the first time anyone's passed away like from this kind of way. I mean, yeah, there's been people that have like.
Well, I'm sure it's happened a lot, but just this is like in recent for sure. Like it's especially with Insomniac that we know of.
Yeah,
like I haven't heard of ravers with the mainstream festivals getting shot at.
Yeah,
I'm sure in other countries it's happened for sure. Maybe it's happened low key that we haven't heard of, or smaller event companies. But with Insomniac, I don't think this has happened before.
Yeah, and a lot of people are blaming Insomniac for a couple of things, and I think they handled it the best way they could. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation regardless, but they did the best they could to handle it. Like they like Pascal was explaining how like, because when they were like explaining how like initially how the incident was happening, they were calling it an incident, and yeah, it might seem insensitive, but at the same time, like they don't want to cause a panic at the rave festival while the cops are still trying to deal with the situation, and it was at the cops' request too. And then just people are like coming at them for like the security thing, which. To be fair, yes, because there has been time where like people don't even check me for stuff, and I'm like, I literally have thought in my head like, yo, what if I have a knife or a gun? But at the same time, it's it's kind of not, it's specifically with that spot, it's like owned by it's owned by Live Nation, so it's like all managed by them. So it's technically Live Nation's fault.
Yeah, well, all right, so they hire other security agencies or companies like to cover their event. It's not really on Insomniac, or I guess you could say, I don't know how the partnership is with Live Nation and CSC or whatever security companies they use, but pretty much, man, it's all based. It's all depending on who they're hiring and the preparation they give those new hirees. Like. They have to train them the correct way. those guys actually have to implement, their practices that they've learned. But a lot of the time is they're hiring like pretty much, like, I hate to say it, but bottom of the barrel type of people, or employees. They're just trying to get quick, easy money.
Yeah.
Just by getting this quick little gig this one time, and that's it. They're not, a lot of time it's not repeating like employees. It's just like on an event to event basis. So think about it. You're hiring someone for probably minimum wage or barely above it, just to check people. Like half the people aren't going to care about their jobs. The other half, maybe they care a little bit more. But I don't know. It's a tricky situation when you're dealing with that. Like, I think the only solution is they gotta hire like people for more money and actually be on it. They gotta have supervisors between every checkpoint, because there's probably like one or two supervisors throughout the whole like searching area.
The question is, do they stop camps?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think they for sure have to have like a stronger searching strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, just in general, for sure, at the main search point, because this happened in the campgrounds. This didn't happen at the actual event.
Yeah.
But for sure, in the main searching area, when everyone's just general GAs walking through, I think they need to have metal detectors for sure.
Yeah, that's probably one of the easiest ways to do that for their.
Because although, yes, drugs are a problem with festivals in general, everyone's going to do it. Everyone's going to find a way of sneaking in.
Yeah.
But what we need to focus on is just safety. And that's guns and knives and all that.
It was a real shell shock to a lot of the community, just because we go to these events to escape from all the bullshit that's happening outside the events. We're just there to have a good time, hang out with our friends. And the last thing we want to know is we go camping and I might have fucking died.
Yeah, man. This is our safe space. This is supposed to be good vibes all around. So that's how it's just people aren't really coming with that type of mindset or attitude. So I think we need to keep each other in check. We need to really, I don't know. It's a tricky thing, but
yeah, but also like it's kind of that area. Sad is to say, because I was reading somewhere on Twitter, they said that this shit happened at the Excision Festival they do up there. I think that's called
almost happened, huh?
About Base Canyon. Yeah, but they caught him before he went in or something, and
I wouldn't doubt it's the same guy.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Because I mean, you got to be really crazy to go in like that.
Yeah,
he probably tried. It didn't happen, or it didn't succeed, and now he was like doing it again. Because that's what happened at the country event back in Vegas or whatever. The shooter at Mandalay Bay, he was supposed to go to Life is Beautiful,
which is crazy because we went to that.
Yeah, we went to that to go see Blink-182, and he didn't. For whatever reason, he ended up just doing that one. And yeah, so it's crazy. It could happen anytime.
Yeah.
So I think we all just need to be more aware of our surroundings, essentially. And
because over there, it's the fucking boonies over there. There have been people saying like it's a really like rural area of Washington.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. They might have to get more on it with security. It usually happens in waves, because there was a time when we first started that they were really on it with searching.
Oh yeah,
like they had motherfuckers taking off their shoes, searching their socks, all that. Even dogs were more. I mean, I see dogs every event, but I feel like back then, like they were actually like in search of shit. Nowadays, I just see the police officer just posted up in one spot and the dog's just standing there. And whenever they're walking around, they kind of just like yank it back in to come back. Yeah. So I think just searching all around just needs to get better. And because man, EDC. I mean, maybe in the last year or two, like every time we go, it's just a little tap and walk in.
I literally like give him here, check my bag. He's like, "No, you're good." I'm like, "Motherfucker, check my bag."
Bro, I remember this past EDC, this fool in front of me, he literally, the security just asked him like, "You don't have anything illegal in here, right?" And he said, "Nope." And he just let him go in. He didn't search him or nothing.
That's fucking crazy.
So yeah, and that actually kind of reminds me, this past week I was watching a documentary on 2010 EDC.
Yeah.
It wasn't from like the Insomniac or anything like that. It was just some random guy who just did it for fun, but he did it really good. And I don't know when he released it, but it must have been fairly recent, because there's a part where he interviews like the people he interviewed back then in 2010.
Yeah,
he interviews them again.
That's cool.
As an older version of themselves. So it's crazy that he held on to that footage for that long.
It's crazy that he was able to reach out to them, like able to actually get into contact with them.
Yeah, that and he was even inside the court case with Pasquale when they determined that they weren't going to allow them back to the Coliseum and all that. Like he had a lot of insight on everything. For I don't know who he is, but I mean he got it all down.
Yeah.
I'll probably no, never mind. I'm not gonna include the link. But yeah, it just reminded me of back then how hectic shit was. Like people were literally dying, and the drug problem was crazy back then. People were overhydrating. You're not supposed to drink too much water when you're on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I guess we just gotta get better with everything. Really, if we want to keep the party going, we gotta be safer. Yeah, you know, I think enough about this shit. Let's get on to some cool things that happen. We did see. I don't know if you've seen, but I seen a proposal happen at Millennium.
I did see that, and then they immediately got fucking shit for it.
Yeah, because they had a baby with them. I think it was an all ages event, right?
Yeah, it was an all ages event, which is cool. Okay, before I preface this, shout out to fucking Millennium, bro. As much as you know,
it's not our taste.
It's not our taste. There's a couple songs I do like from him, but overall, I wouldn't really catch a set from him. Although I have a couple times. But this motherfucker, he sold out the Mile High Stadium where the Denver Broncos play, and made it one of like the biggest. Like if you could see, like people have seen like pictures and videos of it. I'm like, yo, this fool. You can hate on him all you want, or all the haters, but like, what other artist is doing that? Yeah, exactly. Maybe Excision, but like that's a different thing.
He broke the record for the USA headline show, right?
Yeah, like I gotta give him props for that, man. Like no one else is doing that.
Do you got the final number of attendees? Was it like 60K?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think I read it was in the 50s to 60,
which is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. I mean, just think about like that many people are willing to pay for your ticket to go see you. I mean, that's the big goal. I mean, that's what the agents are looking for. That's what the managers are looking for someone that could bring in like people.
Yeah.
And for you to have built up an audience of 60K. I mean, obviously he has more fans than that, but that's 60K to go to that one show. Probably cost so much money to get the floor seats or floor area. But yeah, anyway, a couple took their kid. It must have been an all ages event.
I think so, because I remember I saw other people with kids too.
Yeah, but this one was probably like 3-4 years old. No, probably I want to say like 2 or 3. They had so she had her on the little backpack thing. My only thing is with the kids is as long as they have ear protection, I don't see what the problem is. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like they did say they brought earmuffs for the girl. She was just being fussy about it, didn't want to wear them. And you know, if the girl didn't want to wear them, she didn't want to wear them. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, if you didn't have anyone to take care of the baby, why don't you, like go?" And I'm like, it wasn't all ages thing. You know, they probably wanted to bring her along.
Yeah, I mean, especially for that special moment of the proposal, they want their kid there. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. They were far out of the crowd. They were not in the middle of the fucking nothing.
Yeah, they were nowhere near it, man.
And the Millennium fan base in general, it's generally like happy shit, happy vibes. You know, everyone's there for one another. He has like a cult fan base, like they're ride or dies for that fool, and like
shout out Javi.
And yeah, and so I mean, and his music is super like uplifting and like happy energy. You know, it's not like obviously he plays like aggressive songs here and there, but it's not all like aggressive shit. And I'm sure like the people around, like they would be there to make sure the kid is fine. And so, like I said, I mean, there's no problem with me. But yeah, so while we're on like some top event shit, like or happy energy type shit, what were your 5 like best events where you're just like happiest energy, happiest vibes, time, like everything?
Like at a festival or just?
So I want to just pretty much list your top 5 events. What are your top 5 events that you've ever attended?
That I've ever attended off the rip.
Even if it's non-EDM.
One of them was when I went to Self Help, which is A Day to Remember's little festival they do out here in San Francisco. They haven't done it in like a couple years since I think before COVID.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that was funny that the whole time.
You good, my boy? Do you need to spit some shit out?
I can't never do it.
Oh, you one of those.
Yeah. But yeah, one of my top 5, one of them was the Self Help, the Day to Remember's tour. I went with Jaime because I love A Day to Remember. They're my number 1 favorite band of all time. I know all their fucking songs. That was like my 3rd time going, but that specific one going with Jaime. We were in the ADA area and we were just singing our little fucking hearts out. It was the best time. I saw the Devil Wears Prada there. It was fucking great. Number 4 was probably like Probably Beyond 2016
Mm-hmm.
because that was one of the first times where I think the lineup was so diverse. Like it had every kind of genre, and I wanted to see.
I think that was like Gesture's first Insomniac festival.
Yeah, and
Because I remember when like Moomathon was like on its rise or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Like it was so rare to see him on anything, and seeing him there, it was just one of our like dark horse like sets that we had to see no matter what. Him and
Yeah.
Azar was playing. He had a good little run with Insomniac where he was playing some shit.
And we saw freaking Carnage, we saw Marshmallow, we saw Slander, and they were
I'm
actually
tripping. I'm mixing it up. That was 2017 Beyond.
Oh,
So
okay.
2016 Beyond, the one you're talking about. I know which one you're talking about. Now.
Yeah, we saw Yellow Claw there. Like that was like maybe like our second or third time seeing them. So we were like on it. We were like still like just we had to see more of them. I saw like Barry Corson, like a bunch of like people are just like first time artists that they had there that we were throwing down.
That's when it was still at San Manuel.
Yeah,
The amphitheater.
yeah, the amphitheater.
No, Glen Helen. I'm so fucking stupid. I'm mixing these shits up. Yeah, that's when it was at Glen Helen Amphitheater.
Yeah, and then probably number 3 is gonna have to be Nocturnal, but 2016 or 17. It was the one where I only went the Sunday one, and
because I know 16 was when it was like still like the whole amphitheater. That's when you met Kennedy Jones in the crowd, and there was a Say My Name on the hardstyle stage.
I think that was on
16 then.
It might have been 16.
Where we also saw Gentleman's Club at the bottom.
That was the one, but I wasn't there that day.
Okay, so you went that one though, but it was day 3.
Yeah, I only went day 3, and because I was on my broke boy vibes, but I really wanted to go because I love fucking raving with my guy, so I was able to scrounge up some money. I found a Sunday ticket, and I went, and I had one of the best times ever. Probably day 2 is probably our first EDC because it was just the best. It's just what kickstarted it all, and my number 1 event till this day is Nocturnal 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was the best vibes ever. Like me and him, day 1, it was just me and him. Day 2, our boy Johnny went. Day 3, all our other homies went. It was just boys all around. We saw Yellow Cloth for the first time. We saw Flosser Damas for the first time. Alesso, Duke Dumont, Galantis, Snails, fucking
French Montana.
He threw down like it was crazy. The first time we saw Hoochie, it was the best time ever.
Yeah, we were discovering hella artists back then. Like that's when we were getting deep into the EDM shit.
Yeah, and it was the biggest Nocturnal since then because it was like the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, it was one of those 20th or 25th anniversaries.
Yeah, and so they went all out on it. 3 days. They haven't done that since then.
Yeah, David Guetta, all that.
Yeah,
all the big headliners every single day.
It was crazy. I to this day it's still one of my top events.
Yeah, so my top 5 for events was for sure. So I want to say the 5th one was probably 2015 Escape. That's when I saw like Dimitri Vegas, like Mike.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, and you went one of the days, huh?
I went the first day.
Okay, yeah. So we seen like a bunch of like crazy artists. So the 4th one, I'll say EDC 2018. No, yeah. EDC. No. I'm tripping. Sorry, I'm gonna fuck all this up. So the 5th, Escape 2015. 4th, I'll say was I want to say I'll say Life is Beautiful when I seen Blink.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, that was fun. And it was like a whole new experience trying all the food. The artists maybe weren't the best, but that one big thing, seeing Blink for the first time. I've been fucking with them since kindergarten. So, And then we got number 3. That'll be EDC 2015 because it was our first one. But EDC 2018, that one actually beats it for me because that was like, I think that was like the biggest crew we had, but at the same time, it didn't feel too overwhelming, trying to guide everyone.
It was vibes.
Yeah, it was vibes. Every set was fucking sick pretty much. And so, yeah, that was like, and then with the hotel we stayed at was like the biggest hotel we had.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one was sick. And then 2nd, I want to give number 2 to EDC 2015. No, I already said number 2. Number 1 is Nocturnal 2015. So yeah, 5th, Escape 2015. 4th, Life is Beautiful when Blink played. I think that was 2018, huh?
Yes.
Okay, 3rd was EDC 2015. 2nd, EDC 2018, and 1st is Nocturnal 2015. You know, I had a really good time 2015. That was like like I had the most energy back then. It was like trying new things here and there. I was a fresh new adult.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was sick. Entering our new rave era,
Yeah, we're going to all the events. Like if there was an event, we were going it.
pretty much. But speaking of Nocturnal, when we seen Yellow Claw and Floss, they're actually going B2B at Hard Summer this year.
I know. I'm pretty excited for that. Like it's gonna be tight.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. They're gonna be playing like an OG trap set apparently, and you know we'll see how it goes. You know, I know we've kind of like outgrown like the whole trap era, but you know I'm sure it'll be pretty nostalgic checking them out and hearing all the throwbacks. I hope they go deep in that because I love a lot of songs that they don't really play in their sets anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they go back and they bring back a bunch of those.
I remember when we went to what was it, EC 2021. It was the one where Hulk Gang was playing.
Oh yeah, that was 19.
2019.
I think so because that's when Chris went, and 18 was the one at the Speedway. Yeah, 8 because I know Chris didn't go at 18.
Right.
And then 19 was the one that Chris went to, and that's when Whole Gang played.
Yeah, and so I remember like they were throwing down sick down trap. They were throwing all the freaking throwbacks. It was crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So Hard Summer, I'm excited for that one, man.
Me too.
We're gonna see Skrillex and shit.
It was my first time seeing. In my life I have 3 opportunities to see him, and I just every single time something would happen. Either I was too broke, I had to go with the other homegirl to go see her with the other artists, so she'd be all right. And then the other time, I forget what happened, but I wasn't able to see him either. And this is the guy I fucking love. That got one of the guys that got me into EDM, and I still haven't seen him. And I'm like fucking like I gotta see him with hell or high water this time.
Yeah, the first time I seen him was as Jack U with Diplo. It's like, man, I wish like Jack U had a longer run or they bring it back or something, man. Because those were like 2 of like the heavy hitters of like the EDM world back then.
Yeah,
there's like Diplo and Skrillex. And you know, there's a lot of like groups or aliases that like just like aren't a thing anymore. And do you have any specific that come to mind that you may miss? Because for sure Jack U's one of them for me.
Jack U
and Clockwork by RL Grime.
Hey, I seen some shit. I think he might bring that shit back.
Think so?
Because he put out a date and it had like a little clock thing, and everybody's like, "It's Clockwork, it's Clockwork."
When was that?
I was like a couple weeks ago. I was like, yo, this shit better be it, because he was one of my big because if you don't know, RL Grime, before he was RL Grime, he was Clockwork, and he made some of the best fucking, well, I guess you could call it house, but it was like fidget house. It was like he was doing down crazy shit. He was like killing it back in the day. And
yeah, it was also like some big room too.
Yeah, so he did that. He was killing it, and then he ended up went to the trap direction with RL Grime, which obviously got just as big too, but real ones know about Clockwork.
Yeah.
Friggin' it was super short lived, but Chode Gang.
Wait, who's Chode Gang
again? It was Barely Alive, Virtual Riot, and a Dubloads.
Okay, I didn't know it was like a thing. I thought it was just like a little nickname, like the Benches. How they just did like.
Well, it was a little thing, but they literally only played one event and they stopped doing it. I think because Barely Alive and Dubloads had some beef.
Crazy.
I someone wrong, but like basically like they just stopped doing it after that one, and we saw him too at EDC. But I'm dying out here.
Oh yeah, make sure you make sure you hear that crunch. Listen clearly for that little crunch in that throat.
Yeah, but that's probably one of them. I know there's so many right now, but you just kind of just asked me off the rips. I'm like, fuck, I gotta think about this.
Yeah, for sure. I know there's. So I kind of like, although Carnage was like pretty recently when he ended, I want to see more Carnage sets because when we started raving, like Carnage was already like in his peak, but he was also getting a lot of like hate at that time. I feel like 2014 and maybe even 13 was when he was like starting to blow up, and that's when he was having like his own events. His lineup on his events were fucking stacked every single time.
The rares,
yeah, the rare soul cows and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for sure I miss Carnage. You know, I don't care what type of hate he gets.
I'm actually like a little butthurt. Like these people aren't booking him out here as his Gordo, because I actually want to see because we were fucking with the house, so I want to see his house sets.
He's pretty much just blacklisted on a lot of shit, bro. Yeah. It's too much hate behind the scenes. Even the fan bases, they don't fuck with him for whatever reason. I guess it's his personality. But I don't know. It doesn't bug me.
Yeah.
Other aliases. Oh, you know what, man? Porter Robinson when he was what was it? Virtual Self.
Oh my god, dude! And I would see clips from his shows. I'm like, yo, this shit's crazy. He's throwing out 6 sets. Yeah. And he just stopped doing it. He was like, yeah, he probably got his itch out of the way. I'm like, all right, I'll just get back to my Porter Robinson stuff.
Yeah. Well, he came out with some fucking bangers and then just dipped on that one.
Yeah.
We'll see. I guess he might bring it back soon. But yeah, I think that's it for that part. Is there anything else you want to say before we head into Off the Web?
No, I think we're okay right now.
All right. Well, I know we got 4th of July coming up soon. Do you guys fucking light up fireworks? I know they're illegal as fuck out here. It's for the good ones at least. But usually, you know, we would be on our firework shit. I don't know. I kind of like lost interest in fireworks now.
Yeah, I just you know, the money thing, and then also it just maybe it's just because we got adult thing, but it lost its luster.
Yeah, that, you know, it's become a risk lighting them up over here in SoCal.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember one time we were outside your mom's house and we're lighting fireworks, and we're lighting like he brought like these like big ass like morning glories, but they're like big and huge, and
they're long as fuck,
and they were low key a bitch to even light. So we were like trying our hardest, and our dumbasses were lighting it next to a fucking like little grass area, and we low key like put it on. We had that thing on fire for a minute.
Yeah, our neighbor's grass was like dry as fuck, and I wasn't paying attention, but I lowered my fucking thingy. I lowered it and it started lighting up the grass, and I had to go stomp that shit out.
Yeah, that's just. Oh, and that one time we were at your dad's and you burned yourself.
Oh yeah, bro, I burned my finger. My brother has accidentally gotten a fucking. I know they're not called morning. That's the brand Morning Glory, but what are they called again? I'm fucking blanking.
Something sticks. Or, fuck.
Sparklers.
Yeah,
sparklers. So my brother, he was probably like under 10 years old. He accidentally fucking turned the sparkler and poked his fucking eye when that shit was lighting up. That fool got lucky he's not blind.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, fireworks have just lost its touch with me, you know. Fuck those TNT stands, man. They fucking overcharge on those.
Yeah, and they're always mid too.
Oh, they're trash. They're repetitive. They just are. I don't know. They get boring as fuck. The only thing I'll take is like the piccolo pizza and turn them into a bomb or something.
I was gonna ask you, have you ever done that?
Yeah, we did that shit back in the day a lot. Or we'll put it in like a 2 liter or a gallon, just bah.
Yeah, we did that one time with the homies at the homegirl's house, and we did it outside. This was because it's kind of our dumb as fault because this is already like 2 or 3 weeks past fucking 4th of July already. So we did it. That shit loud. It sounded loud as fuck. Cars went off. We instantly went back inside, and like not even like 2 minutes later, a cop was just rolling by and like just, and they literally knocked. I think I can't remember if they knocked on the door and asked if like, you know, hey, do you know what happened here? I'm like, nah. Yeah,
there was this one year. I believe you were there. When we were down there closer to like the alley and the train tracks, and we were lighting up shit, and the cops drove by, and we quickly just grabbed our shit and threw it behind the you know those little green things that people chill on. Like there's like a meme right now, or not right now, but there's this meme that went by where it's just like it was a picture of that little green thing, those green things that sit in the randomly on the street. And people will go like that was the kick it spot where you go sit on and shit.
Or that was like the meetup spot for fights.
Yeah. So we would throw all our shit behind that when the cops drove by, and we're just like acting sus as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I think that's it for this one. We're gonna head on to Off the Web now.
Off the Web.
And I actually forgot to bring down the fucking spinning, so I gotta bring that down right now. But we can talk about last week's first. So what happened last week? What did we spend on? 90s.
90s. We spent on 90s. And normally, I'm gonna be honest with you, when we go into like the decade genres, I have a really hard time figuring shit out because there's so many songs that you can pick of.
Yeah.
But I think for this one, I think I had a little bit of an easier time. I don't think for copyright sakes I can play some of these songs.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna play them because same reason. As much as I want to, I don't know. I hate like feeling like we're gonna get copyrighted and minimizing our audience because that's what happens when you play like copyright music. YouTube will not share your video as it should, and same thing for cussing and all that. But you know, I've already tried censoring us, and it's a hassle because we cuss so much. We gotta. I think with time we'll get better with that and start training ourselves to speak more into like a broadcasting type of voice where we're censoring ourselves before actually spitting out the words. But we just too hood. We just some Dino Fontana kids.
Yes, sir.
So we're always gonna be cussing, man. So last week you started first, right? Or was it me? I think you did start first.
I think I did start first.
All right, so I'll go first then. Number 5 of this week's off. All right, we'll restart that. Off the Web, 90s edition, baby. Number 5, Snap. Rhythm is a Dancer. That's a bop right there, man. That straight gets me into the vibe of just like the 90s aesthetic. You know, I actually really love playing 90s music. And whenever I'm playing like some family gigs.
Yeah.
Number 4, Eiffel Blue. I'm blue. Yeah, that one.
Didn't who was it? Zalesso? Who?
No. David Guetta.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that was,
Yeah, he had his own little spin on it. Even Softest Heart as well. She had T-Pain on that song.
Yeah, shout out Softest Heart.
All right, cool. Number 3, Robert Miles, Children. That's a fucking classic. When you hear it, you'll probably know it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Number 2, Alice DJ, Better Off Alone.
I'm better off.
So that's a classic, man. We still play that shit till this day. Number 1, Hadaway, What Is Love?
What is love?
You know, that one's always going to be with me.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Way to get his copyrighted mix. Just kidding. Hopefully it's not a problem. I don't know. I hear if you sing the words or whatever, it'll happen, but I don't give a fuck. Who cares?
With my tone deaf ass?
So go ahead. Shoot your
right.
top 5.
Off the Web 90s edition for number 5 for me is TLC No Scrubs because I fucking love that song. And rest in peace, Left Brain. For number 4 is Goriella by Goriella. If you don't know who Goriella is, it's Ferry Corsten, but it's one of his old aliases before. I think he did this one with Tiesto, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
When Tiesto was on his trance days too. Those motherfuckers have been in the game forever.
For real, man. You know what I realized? So how I be playing Need for Speed. I don't know if I said this on the pod before, but when I was playing Need for Speed Underground on my PSP, bro, they have a DJ Tiesto song, and it's by DJ Tiesto. Before it was whack to put DJ in your name.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists that you probably know of today that had DJ before it. You know, I used to be called DJ Mass, and then I took it off, put Mass, and now I'm Woof Logik with my boy.
We go call ourselves DJ Woof Logik.
DJ Woof Logik. Who still does DJ? Because I know DJ Isaac. I think he still does it, huh?
Yeah.
Or does he just put? No, it's DJ Isaac.
Yeah, DJ. There's a few of them that still do the DJ thing.
Oh yeah.
But he's the only one I can think of at the top.
Yeah, facts.
For number 3 is Slipknot, Eyeless.
Mm.
That's like my favorite Slipknot song from their debut album. Number 2 is No Mercy, Where Do You Go? That's a fucking good ass song.
Yep.
Where do you go? And then for number 1, because I fucking love the song, Korn, Adidas. All day I dream about
That
sex.
one's a bop. I love that one.
Yeah. He had the coolest like fucking Adidas tracksuits with the sequins and shit. Like my guy fucking, I forget his name, Jonathan Davis fucking had the coolest fucking swag back in the 90s. Well, he still kind of does. Yeah, I think he looks always cool.
All right, y'all. So that was our top 5 from the 90s.
Yes.
That's when we were born, actually. We're both 96 babies.
Yes, we were.
So, all right, let's spin this bitch. Ready for next week? We are going to be doing...
Spin the wheel. What we land on?
Progressive House Skin. I'm fine with that. It's been a minute since we played that.
Yeah, I'm down with that too.
Yeah, we have a lot of progressive house songs that we fuck with, and you know, even doing the last time we did it was a struggle finding our top 5.
That is true.
But you know, that was like the golden era of EDM, so that's what got us into it, pretty much. Like so we've had other genres that got into it, but that right there just fucking like blew it out of the park.
Yeah.
You know, there's legends like Martin Garrix, Lesso, Swedish House Mafia.
Damn, I just thought of a song right now.
Well, you better put it in your notes before you forget.
I know.
But yeah, man, progressive house is always a vibe. Even fucking Porter Robinson, fucking Quintino, everyone's touching that. Everyone touched that at one point. Yeah, Hardwell. Oh no, he did a lot of big room. Maybe he has a progressive house song here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that concludes this week's episode of Woof's Web, Off the Web, and Woof's Web.
Mm-hmm.
We'll end it there. It's a pretty short episode. I got a lot of editing to do, we got some Maple Alley stuff coming soon.
High quality episodes. You're gonna love them.
Yeah, they're both some bangers. We got we got our shows coming soon. This will be the last episode before our exchange show.
Yeah.
So hopefully we give you guys a recap on the next one.
Hopefully by the time this comes out, we're able to officially announce this the freaking show. So that way, we can stop, kind of tiptoeing around it, and we can actually, hey, come to our shows. Even like here, we can start sending the links out like crazy now.
Yeah, for sure. Because I want to fucking announce it already, but they haven't given us the flyer with our name on it yet. Yeah. I could make it myself, but I don't know if that'll get us in trouble. So yeah, there's that. Woof Logik, we've been working, like I said, we've been working on hella collabs. I think you guys are gonna like a lot of the music we've been making.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. If you guys, we want to be more interactive with you guys though. So if you guys have any like topics, questions you have for us, be sure to let us know in the comments. Be sure to DM us on Instagram. We'll respond pretty quick, and we'll take it into consideration on the next episodes. Any genres, even for off the web stuff. We're all open ears for all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.